Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan and I'm a homeschooling mom of 6 kids ages 10 and under. Today's video is actually part of an open collab with Rooted in Rest and the Waldock Way. So I will make sure to put their channels in my description down below, as well as the playlist with all the other homeschool channels that are joining in this collab. So I was really excited to join this one because I recently did a video on how we actually do morning basket in our homeschool. But this summer I made it a goal to try to make sure that I share what is in our morning basket every month this school year. So the reason that I want to do that is because I love book recommendations. I love ideas from other homeschool moms and other moms. And I think it's a great way to put different book titles out there and just to see some different ways that people use their morning basket. So hang tight and I'll show you what's in them. Now, if you haven't seen that other video that I was referring to where I actually share how we do morning basket in our homeschool, you might want to check it out after this video so you understand a little bit about how we do it. It's basically a day starter for us. I don't put a lot of time and a lot of activities into it. However, I am going to be sharing with you some of these books we are going to be using in one of our Fun Fridays to do a lot of different activities. Okay, so beside me, you see this big crate. I'm not going to lift it. It's kind of heavy. You see this big crate beside me. That is actually not our morning basket. However, we have been big time using the library. We have over 40 books checked out right now. And I just found out that I can actually apply for a teacher card, and that means I can get like unlimited books and keep them for months, which is pretty stinking awesome. So this is our actual morning basket. Now, I'm going to share what's in this. This is what I will grab each day when we actually do our morning basket time. So as of right now, I'll start with this to share what is in here. So because it is September, there's a lot of different things going on in our school. Because I have a lot of little ones still, I still like to do like themed things if I can. So for the month of September, our theme is apples and trees. And so you're gonna see a lot of those kind of books in here as well. And so for our morning basket, as of right now, but these will switch out as we finish them or as we read them. In our morning basket right now, we are finishing up this book, Sammy the Jay, which is by Thornton Burgess. We are also going to start Johnny Appleseed from the Who Was series. And I'm sure you're familiar with the Who Was series. These are really well done, and so I'm excited about doing this one, especially with my older kids. So in history, we have been learning about the Vikings. Well, we already learned about them. And one of the books, we're not big Magic Treehouse fans. They just don't, those books don't really jive with my kids very well. And, but we did listen to the audiobook version of, what is it, Viking Ships at Sunrise? Yes, from the Magic Treehouse. We did listen to that on the way to our camping trip. And because of that, I saw this at the library and I thought it would be a great addition. It's just their fact tracker books about Vikings, and the kids have really been enjoying this. It's got some great info. And so we just pick it up and read it just kind of leisurely, just because the kids were really interested in the Vikings and wanted to learn some more. This always stays in our morning basket, and this is our Truth and Grace memory book. This is what we use for Bible in our homeschool, and if you would like to know more about that, I actually did a video on how we do Bible in our homeschool, and I will stick a link to that down in the description as well. The other thing we're learning about in history right now is actually we're kind of on the tail end of learning about it, is about the explorers. So I got this book from the library on the conquistadors. It's a little bit graphic, but you know, the reality is the conquistadors were pretty graphic. So anyway, but my older boys especially are enjoying that one. The other thing I got was this book called Lives of the Explorers, and it's Discoveries, Disasters, and What the Neighbors Thought. And so this is actually a pretty interesting book. It's all different types of explorers throughout history, and so obviously we're not reading about all of them, but it is pretty interesting, and it's got some of the explorers that we have been learning about and from the time period we've been learning about. The other thing that stays in here all the time is our Story of the World book, and we use this year as a read aloud, which I tell all about that in our How We Do Morning Basket video. And so we are, like I said, using this as a read aloud because our actual history is from Master Books. It's America's Story 1, and so we're just enriching it with lots and lots of reading and backing it up with our favorite curriculum. And the only reason we're not using this as our main spine for our curriculum this year is just because I am teaching the other one as a class at our co-op. And I wanted it a little bit more pointed to specific U.S. history. This also stays in our morning basket all the time, and this was in my other video as well. And I have a page marked in here. I will probably take this out for a little bit just to make room for other things after we do this. But the first poem that I want to do, just when I think of trees, I think of this poem all the time, and it is The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. And so that's the only reason that I have this in here and marked. But this is a great book with great resources. Alright, so that is what is in our current morning basket. But I like to switch things out as we read through them and as we move through the month. Okay, so this is just a pile of different activities that I have printed off for various reasons. So while I read some of these books, it's really important with young children to keep their hands busy. And so at different times, I will be utilizing these different materials. So this is just some apple pattern printables that I found. It says Tot Schooling. I don't know if that's the website I got it from. I'll try to find the website I got it from and link it below. But it was a free printable, and they just complete the patterns that are on here with dot markers. And we have these awesome Chocola dot markers that my kids are loving right now. And so this will be great for my kindergarten and first grader, just something to keep their hands busy while we are reading if they need it. The other thing is just some different apple printables with some cool like designs that they can color. I was thinking more for my older kids, for something for them to do while they are listening. And then I have just this apple coloring page and some fall leaf coloring pages. And at any time, they don't have to just color them. We also have some awesome Arteza watercolor pencils, and so they could even use those on there as well. Now, I also printed this one for a busy activity as well while we read. And this is for my oldest. It is just to review his multiplication facts. This was also a free printable. I just found it on Pinterest, and it doesn't have a name of the website, so I'm sorry guys, but I'm sure you could find it if you searched for it on Pinterest. But and then there are just these color by number ones for my younger kids that are just different fall ones, and I was just going to make copies based on how many kids wanted to do whichever ones. And then more really great fall themed dot pages for my younger kids and for my toddler, who I like to include her as much as possible in what we're doing. So those will be great for her as well. Okay, so that is just kind of some busy activities for when we are reading like chapter books in our morning basket. And like I said, I will use these when I think that we need them or when they line up with certain books that we're reading. So I'm going to share with you the other things that I'm going to be switching out in our morning basket this month. Okay, so this is another thing to use as printables. I got this for free just in a giveaway pile at our Homeschool umbrella. I don't know, they had a bunch of giveaway stuff, and it's just a coloring book of Jamestown in Virginia, and that's what we're getting ready to start. in our history. So I thought making copies of these coloring pages for my kids to color, I thought that would be great for when we start to read our read alouds that go along with our that part in history, which we're actually getting ready to start. All right, so I think we will start with this read aloud. It is Indian Captive, the story of Mary Jameson, and it is by Lois Linsky. I am a huge Lois Linsky fan lately. So we read The Strawberry Girl, and we got another book from the library as well that she had written. And we love like her picture books and stuff. So anyway, so this is one of the ones that we are going to start for Jamestown. This is another one that I'm actually gonna, it'll stay sitting in our morning basket, but I am not going to read it in the morning time because this is not for little kids. It is not gory. It sounds like it is, but it's not. It's not supposed to be. This was highly recommended by one of you viewers. Thank you so much for that recommendation. I can't wait to read this. It looks like it's going to be really good. The other thing that we are going to be starting is A Lion to Guard Us. And this is just a shorter, quicker read. And so those coloring pages are definitely going to come in handy. Now, we do not always read both read alouds at the same time. We read throughout our day, but I keep them in our morning basket so that it's at reach. We kind of use our morning basket throughout the day too, not just in the morning. All right, so those are some of our read alouds coming up. The next things are picture books that will be shifting in and out of the morning basket. And I will have lots of activities that go with these that we will actually use on a Fun Friday we are doing that has an apple theme. But my plan is to go ahead and read the books throughout the coming weeks in our morning basket and then read them again or refer back to them again on our Fun Friday when we do all the fun activities with it. So this is one of those books. It is, of course, Dr. Seuss, and it's 10 apples up on top to go with our apple theme. The next one is the Ox Cart Man, and I'm really excited about that activity that we're going to do with this one. So I will have to share this Fun Friday that we're going to do with this, but basically while we read this one, and while we read one of our chapter books during that morning when we read this, I will have the kids be doing crafting while we're reading for the purpose of the activity we're going to do with this, and I won't reveal too much, so stay tuned. So push that subscribe button so you know what we end up doing in that Fun Friday. So the Ox Cart Man, then I have Johnny Appleseed, then we have Apples to Oregon, and I have some fun activities planned with this one as well. And then we get into our fall and tree themed books. And these are going to go along with what we are kind of focusing on in science. Right now we've been talking about plant and animal cells, and then we are going to be doing some nature study activities with trees. So I thought this was a great time to include more books, picture books, in our morning basket on trees. So this one is Hello Summer, or sorry, this one is Goodbye Summer, Hello Autumn. And then this one is Seeds Move. And it is just a picture book about all the ways that seeds get around and move. So, that's that one. Then the next one is Summer Green to Autumn Gold, Uncovering Leaves' Hidden Colors. My kids love these crinkle root books. We found out about them actually from exploring nature with children. It listed some of the crinkle root books as resources, and that's how we found them. But this one is just all about trees. So this will go great with our nature study on trees. Then this one is Tell Me Tree, all about trees for kids. Then just for something fun, I love Henry and Mudge, and so do my kids, is it's a tree theme, right? It's Henry and Mudge and the Tall Tree House. So we will be reading that together as well. All right, so as far as poetry, because I am trying to be a lot more intentional with including poetry in our morning basket time and just in our homeschool as a whole, we did try our first poetry tea time at the end of last year, and it was so much fun. It's not something that I can dedicate myself to on a regular basis, though. It's a lot of work for me with so many little ones in my home, but it makes it a fun treat when we do it. So I do want to incorporate more poetry, though. And how many of you remember this book from our childhood? So I had almost forgotten about this one. I remember the, like, A Lot in the Attic and Where the Sidewalk Ends and stuff like that. Same era. But I used to love this book. I don't know why. I mean, like, I guess because the poems, they're just fun. I don't know. And so I thought that it would be fun to use some of the poems in this, and that it would be, you know, just a great addition. So it is The New Kid on the Block. Then the other book of poetry that we will be using is A Child's Garden of Verses. So I love the illustrations in this particular copy. I just think they're so pretty and so sweet. We have used this a few times already, but again, I'm just trying to be more intentional with including the poetry. So that is, I think, everything we're going to be doing for the month of September in our morning basket. So stay tuned. In a few weeks, I will put up that Apple themed Fun Friday for you guys. And I hope that this was helpful. I hope you saw some things that would be some good additions. Like I said, make sure that you check out that video on how we even use Morning Basket in our homeschool. It can look different for everybody, and I can't wait to check out all the other videos in the collaboration playlist. So make sure you go check out Rooted in Rest and Waldock Way, which are the hosts, as well as that awesome playlist. Thank you so much, guys, and have a blessed day.